remind you of that, man. You got time. You got time for the ones you love. You got time for the things outside of your career. You got time for you too. We got to make it. Because something I've always struggled with is being very frivolous with my time and very loose with my time. And I would always complain about not having enough of it, right? But I guarantee you, if I still had the same structure and schedule like I do now with my calendar, which I abide by in every way of my life, if I was to take that seriously back then, like I do now, I would realize those 1 or 2 hours that I pretty much blew off on random things that really didn't do nothing for me. I could have been doing something productive with that. Whether that was resting, whether that was focusing on my loved ones, whether that was getting better at something, whether that was like being productive with something, I could have been doing something with that. We so quick to say we don't have any time. Hey, what's going on, man? This is Will Z, Tip Will with SpeakUPZee, and you're now tuned in to another episode of SpeakUPZee, the podcast. And the podcast where we talk about real things with real people. Everything from life to business to mental health and everything else in between. I just want to come to you with a quick message for you, man. Something I've learned myself today from spending time with the person I love. You do have time. This is a lot of times that we don't make the time. And we never even realize how many more opportunities to make the time we'll have. And the crazy thing I'm learning about spending quality time with the people you love is that you don't even know how much they appreciate you just trying to make time for them. And you don't even have to do very much, man. It's like just carving out an hour just to spend lunch with them, or just watching that movie with them, or just going on that walk with them, or just having that conversation with them, or just, man, just listening to them, cuddling with them. Like, it don't take much. I think a lot of times we as human beings just want to know that we're being thought of. We want to know that we want to know that we're a priority enough in your life where you can fit us in that busy schedule of yours. Because the person that you're dealing with, what kind of relationship that is, I'm not sure. 9 times out of 10, they're going to understand that you have things going on, and that you're busy, and that life is happening to you. But you do have time. And I guess the thing is that don't wait until you don't have any more of those opportunities to make time with them to realize that you could have did that. To realize that you had a chance to do that. Because then you'll sit back and you'll wish and say all the things you wish you could have did differently when you got a chance to do it right now. Because those people that you love and those people that you care about, man, they're just as much of a priority as that work and that business and that career and everything else that you got going on in your life. See, but on the flip side of that, man, I also need you to understand that it's okay to speak your mind and tell those same people that as much as I want to prioritize you right now, as much as I want to put you first, as much as I want to make time for you, I haven't made any time for myself all week. So for this one time in my life, I'm putting me first. That's okay too. If they really love you and they really care about you, then they'll understand that. But I think it goes back to trying to find out what balance looks like for you in your life. What's the one day a week that you're gonna make sure you spend with that loved one? And what's gonna be that time in your schedule where you're gonna make sure you spend time with you? See, because this is what people gotta understand too about the ones that you love is that I can't connect with you the way that you want me to connect with you and give you the best version of me. I'm exhausted. I'm not gonna be any fun to hang around. I'm not gonna be any fun to be with if I'm barely holding on because the week has been so exhausting to me. So even though I am telling you that you have time, this is what I want you to do first. I want you to make sure that you make time for you, that you rest, and that you recoup, and that you gather yourself. So that when it is time to show up for them, and it's time to spend time with them, and it's time to be present with them, and you can get them the best version of you. Because you do have time. But you also got to make some time for you. And they go hand in hand. And it kind of tied back to our message of the day about not apologizing for your boundaries and understanding that your boundaries are non-negotiable. And so one of your boundaries when it comes to spending time with the ones you love is that I'm going to spend time with you because you are a priority in my life. But in order for me to do that with you, I got to be real with myself and let myself know that I need to rest too. That I need a day of peace and quiet where it's just me. That I need a little bit of time, man. Like I deserve that. But the thing I'm learning about sacrificing for the people you love is that sometimes even when you are exhausted and sometimes even when you are tired, even when you barely have anything left to hold on with because you've been doing so much ripping and running and so much working and so much serving and so much taking care of people, sometimes you got to suck it up and still prioritize them anyway. Sometimes even when you want to put you first, you still got to put them first sometimes. And that sucks. I'll be honest. It sucks. But that's just what love is. That's what that's what genuine relationships are. It's showing up for your loved one. It's showing up for your significant other. It's showing up for your family. It's showing up for those people that are near and dear to your heart, man. Sometimes when you're exhausted, because they mean that much to you. But when those opportunities do come, to where you don't have to show up for anybody, you don't have to do anything for anybody, you don't have to be there for anybody, and all you have to do is focus on you. Take those opportunities because they're so rare. They don't come around a lot. Those peace and quiet moments don't come around a lot. Those moments when nobody's bothering you, nobody's calling your name, nobody wants anything from you, like those moments don't come around very often. So when you get them, make that time too, because you got time for that too. You just gotta find it. I just want to remind you of that, man. You got time. You got time for the ones you love. You got time for the things outside of your career. You got time for you too. We got to make it. Because something I've always struggled with is being very frivolous with my time and very loose with my time. And I would always complain about not having enough of it, right? But I guarantee you, if I still had the same structure and schedule like I do now with my calendar, which I abide by in every way of my life, if I was to take that seriously back then, like I do now, I would realize those 1 or 2 hours that I pretty much blew off on random things that really didn't do nothing for me. I could have been doing something productive with that. Whether that was resting, whether that was focusing on my loved ones, whether that was getting better at something, whether that was like being productive or something, I could have been doing something with that. But we so quick to say we don't have any time. And so when you start understanding how cherishable time really is, man, you start looking at it in a different light. Um, you start wanting to do better with it. You start wanting to treat it better because you know that like literally once it's gone, I can never have that moment back. I can never have that cherishable time back. So why would you not want to prioritize the ones you love? Knowing that one day you could wake up and they literally cannot be here anymore. Why would you not want to create that memory when the chance to create it may never come back around again? But don't be so hell bent on creating a memory in a special moment in your life that you drive yourself into the ground. That you wear yourself so thin that you barely able to stand up on your own 2 feet. And then the third side of that complex thing called life is when you are barely able to stand and you are barely able to take care of yourself and you all you want to do is rest. Sometimes you still got to show up for the people you love. That's just what life is sometimes. It's, it's, it's sacrifice. It's hard. It's frustrating. It's um it's having to be selfless when you really want to be selfish. It's It's being selfish when you really wanted to be selfless. It's showing up for other people when you're empty. And it's hoping that other people to do the same for you when you need it most. It's having to show up for yourself when you were hoping somebody else would show up for you and they don't. But the shit still got to get done. So somebody got to do it. So you got to do it. See, nobody talks about the complexities of this thing called life, man. We just try to make it seem like it's so cut and dry when it's just not. It's all of that. It ain't just one of those. It's all of that. It's showing up for people when you don't feel like it. It's showing up for yourself when you ain't got nothing left. It's giving everything you got when you do got something because it's the type of lover and giver that you are. It's choosing to not give anything to anybody because you always giving to somebody and you finally choose to give to you and you not apologizing for it. Like it's all of those things. That's what life is. And you're in different seasons where you choose to be a different version of you. So stop beating yourself up. Because you got time. But I just hope that you cherish it on a different level before the time that you got, man, before it eventually runs out. Just something to think about, man. I love y'all, man. Peace. Hey, what's up? This is Will Z Tidwell with SpeakUPZee. And I just want to take a quick second just to thank you for tuning in to this latest episode of SpeakUPZee the podcast. And my only goal with this platform is to motivate you, inspire you, and educate you around all things life, business, and mental health, whether it's myself or me bringing on a special guest. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. We don't ask for any type of monetary gains or anything like that. The best thing you could do for us is just like and subscribe to the channel. Until next week, we'll see y'all later. Peace.